Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to the Force Production Powerlifting channel. This is the video I've been waiting to make for a whole year, and it's finally here, and I'm really happy that I'm still here to talk about it so I can let you guys know what it was like by graph, to explain how the graphs go, to explain all the different phases of what it was like to lose around 160 pounds that you see, because I lost close to 500 pounds because I had to re-lose weight. But what you guys see is about 160 pounds lost on the snake diet within the last year. And what I want to do in this video is to show you how the snake diet for me, with my goals, how it went in a phasic process. As I learned how to snake diet, I went in phases, and I'm going to start at square one, and we're going to end here with OMAD. So without any further waiting, let's start. Okay, so the very first thing that I have to say is that in January 2018, I decided to lose I said, okay, I'm going to lose like 10 pounds a month. And I was just going by hit or miss, just doing whatever I thought I needed to do to hit that goal at the end of the month. And so I made it to 9 pounds. Then the next month, I started wrestling around with more vegetarian, vegan ideas, along with meat eating ideas, just kind of making up a hodgepodgey type of a menu. And I hit my goal almost. I hit 9 pounds, and I was happy with that. I thought I was cooking, man. I was like, all right, I'm on to something here. And then I was watching the Vegetable Police, and he told me about the snake diet. And I started on the snake diet, full force. Me and Cole sat down together for a second. He was in Canada, I was upstairs, and he told me to start with a 3-day fast. So, as you can see, this is phase 1, right here. This is phase 1, okay? Now, in March, I lost 32 pounds, gained 12 back. Total loss, 41 pounds. And in April, let's see, I lost, I forgot, I got it tacked up here, but I went from 305 to 336, so I lost 31 pounds. So I started at 336 and ended at 305, and that's where the next month picked up in May. All right. This May marks the month when I quit vaping because I was fasting. This was like a 12-day fast, and I was vaping all that time, and it made me sick as a dog. Now, I lost 21 pounds in May. Then here comes June, and in June, let's see, what did I lose in June? I started at around 286. And I ended at 269, so maybe around 19 pounds, something like that. Okay, so there's the first phase. There's that first phase. Weight just dropping over 4 months. Boom. So in a 4-month period, I went from 378 to right here, and let's go right across to 369. So let's just call it to 269. So let's just call it 100 pounds lost on the snake diet, right? All right, so all this time I'm thinking, I'm hearing about dry fasting, and I'm like, shit, I could probably do some dry fasting. I could do at least 1 day. So me and Cole talked about it, and he said, man, just like try a 3-day. So I said, okay, I'll try a 3-day. Right? So, first month. Let's peel this back, and we end here at the first month at 255. All right, so start at 270, go to 255. Right? So that is a 15-pound loss in July. All right. Then the next month I decided, I said, well, I wanted to be at 20. I didn't want to be 209 by the end of August. I wanted to be lower than that, but it didn't turn out that way. As you see, I ended at 219. But this, let's see, right here, okay, right here on the graph, this is this chunk of the graph indicates a 10-day dry and snake juice fast combo where I went from 258 to 219. Okay, so that is a 40-pound loss. All right, 42 pounds lost. Right, but I went from 219 when I rehydrated because, man, I was dead to the world almost, right? So I took it from 219 up into 3 gallons of water to rehydrate myself to 245. All right, now, at the end of this month, I set my new goal to finish the 14-week program that I'm at and test my strength. Whatever weight I test at, whatever body weight I test at, I stay at that weight and get my diet dialed in so I can lower my body fat percentage gradually over time. So now it was time for me to begin training again, to compete, to start filling my muscles up with glycogen, to start accepting carbs again. And my weight class, right now that I'm in, I can be either 231 pounds or I can be 260. And I thought, well, shit, a 30-pound range is awesome. But as a power lifter, you need to stay within a 5-pound range. So I said, okay, well, we'll have to dial that in. But I get 30 pounds to play with until I figure that out. So I'm hit or missing all over the place. And as you can see, my weight's going up and up and up and up and up in October. And I called Cole again and I said, man, shit's going sideways. I need to figure this out. And so we thought about that maybe the first carb that I should cycle in, it would be rice. And that was working pretty good, right? But it was still a little bit too iffy for me. So my coach said, well, substitute rice for sweet potatoes. And so I said, okay, so we'll substitute rice for sweet potatoes. But now you see, instead of that 30-pound range, I've dialed it in between 247 and 236, all right? So now I'm giving myself a 10-pound range. But in November, my dad's cancer took him over pretty much, and that was, it was time for me to stop worrying so much about the menu and just make sure I didn't fall completely off the wagon and deal with the stress and the family obligations and all that good stuff. So as you can see, my weight shot up a little bit to around 256, but never over 256. I'm still within my weight class. Now, after the purging of emotional distress, you know, and crying and all that stuff, right? I said, okay, man, I'm ready for the old man to kick the bucket. And he kicked the bucket on December 13th. Rest in peace, Mom and Dad. Now, let me say what started off everything for those of you who don't know me. Before January, in November of 2017, my mom had a stroke. And that put the fear of God into me because I was eating just the way she was eating. And I knew that I was headed for a stroke at close to being 400 pounds. All right, back. December, I handle the rest of the family business. Make peace with the fact that my dad, my mom are gone. All right, got to move on, got to toughen up. And I put all my energy into dialing in this 1 meal a day plan. See, so now all these dots here where I'm outside the range I want to be, I'm still within my weight class for my sport. But here, social eating goes all the way back to here when I was learning about snake diet. Social eating, man, it can mess you up, even if you're kind of getting well versed in everything, right? So there's my training zone window. Social eating's taking me out of it. It's not, what, 1, 2, 3 pounds over it, but, and I got sick here, got a little flu, probably from all the stress, you know, here, but it's okay, man, got to dial it in. And now my OMAD is pretty much dialed in to where I have a couple times I'm out of the zone, but not like over here. But here I am within a 9-pound range, and that makes me happy, right? Now, on March 2nd, I was, what was I? I was 247 on March 2nd, and when I stopped the major cuts and started back training, 245. So, what do we take from all this? What's the major lesson to be learned here? The major lesson to be learned is that there's a learning curve to everything. First, I learned that I was going to die a horrific, strokey, heart attack death if I didn't get my shit together. So I started scouring YouTube. I found The Spark, Vegetable Police, thank you. Go to his channel, he's an interesting guy. He told me about Cole Robinson. So I went to Cole Robinson, got in contact with Cole Robinson, started learning how to saltwater fast. Then I got the guts to dry fast. Then I got the guts to do what I was scared to death to do, begin to eat carbohydrates again. And here's where a lot of people said, oh, you're just going to get fat again. You're going to get fat as you were again. My response was, no, I won't if I don't eat like a dick. So I didn't eat like a dick. I picked OMAD, saved my ass from what people told me was going to happen. Now I'm perfecting the OMAD and I'm still working on it. But it's a whole hell of a lot better here than it was here. Here, I could barely keep it within a 30-pound range fluctuation. Now I've got it within a 5 to 9, whenever I want, right? So, what's next? What's next is to take my body fat percentage, which is about 31% right now, and get it down to about 12 by the end of the year. Or within 18 months, a year and a half. That ain't a long time. And you know your boy's working on it. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Please, if you're worried that the snake diet is going to harm you or a loved one, stop it and get your shit together, man. Give it a try. What's the diet that works for you? The one that you can stick to. But if you want to try a dynamite diet that's like a nuclear bomb, no, not dynamite, it's nuclear, give the snake diet a try. And trust me, right here, this was 10 days where I didn't eat any food. And 5 of those days, I didn't drink or eat. And I was outside in a Michigan summer, walking 18 holes a day, golf, at noon, no cart, pulling my cart, sometimes carrying my bag, in 100-degree heat at noon. And I didn't die. Okay? And that's with powerlifting as well. And riding my bike everywhere. So, stop being scared. Give it a shot. Holler at me in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Love ya. Bye.